This is the first year where we're both full-time self-employed, trying to grow our business.
For example, consistency. So if you're doing something and it's not paying off, does it go with your word of the year? Like, are you being consistent?
Accountability, I think, is everything. Most people don't set out to fail. And if there's somebody there pushing you and holding you accountable to be successful, you're more liable to be successful. Welcome back to another episode of Unpacking Life with the Box and the Basket. And Happy New Year's.
Yes.
We're here January 3rd, and we're going to talk about 2024 and what this year has in store for us. And before we do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content.
Yes. So, how do we prep for a great year?
Planning. A lot and lots of planning.
Or your wife's planning?
No, I've
You
been doing
plan?
it with you.
Oh.
No?
You just sit there and listen. You're like, okay, okay.
I'm just a good husband. I don't know
You
what
do
to say.
plan your golf. You're like,
Oh,
for
yeah.
2024,
You want to know what all trips that we're going on
I would
so
like
far?
to golf more. That was your contribution to our planning meetings. Yep. We're going to try to keep it short.
No.
We just recorded an episode on New Year's resolutions, so it kind of ties into that. But if you're, looking for the New Year's resolution episode, that is the one we just recorded. But this one is for 2024 specifically, and how we plan for a good year. And I think for us, the biggest thing or game changer was, what is our big goal? Like, what do we envision for our family, or like, how do we want to live? And for us, that's always been like freedom, and like freedom to do the things that we want to do, traveling, making memories, and all that. So that is kind of like our big goal. So some people create like mission statements for their family. I mean, whatever you need to do that. Just to kind of talk about and set your big goal for your family. And then from there, we just, I don't know, we take it year by year, quarter by quarter, month by month, week by week, day by day. So we make daily changes, weekly changes, monthly changes. I mean, we have weekly meetings, monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, yearly meetings, and we just keep that goal in mind. And how, like, if I'm taking up this new hobby, is that helping our goal or hurting our goal? Is it going to, make me a better person? Am I going to be more present when I'm not doing the hobby? So like everything has like the big goal in mind and kind of is surrounded by that.
Yeah. And this is the first year where we're both full-time self-employed and trying to grow our business even more than we have the past 9 months.
Yeah.
And so it's a whole new adventure for us, and we're excited for it. But we have, plans set in place to kind of grow that business, grow our freedom along with the business. Because the last thing we want to do is just work ourselves to death and not be able to enjoy our time and the fruits of our labor.
Yep. So 2023 for us was kind of I call it a throw spaghetti on the wall kind of year. So as you might know, if you've been tuning in for a while, is that Ricky retired or quit his job in 2023 in March. So we were just kind of going into that. We had some goals, but we didn't know what was going to work, what wasn't going to work, how we're going to work together. So we were very flexible in 2023, and we just kind of threw spaghetti at the wall, and then we saw what stuck. So going into this year, we kind of evaluated all of that, like what is working, what isn't working, what do we want to change next year.
Right.
Along with even this podcast, our other channel, different marketing things we're doing. I mean, we have kind of two meetings at the same time. But we do the family meeting first, and then our business is always separate. But obviously, how well we perform in our business fuels our lifestyle and our personal goals. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
Um, so yeah, this year we're just refining some processes, eliminating things that are not working, adding maybe some new ideas that we had,
Yep.
that we didn't get to try out in 2023 to see, you know, how we can grow, how we can make our processes easier, better. Um, but yeah, we're taking some trips too.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the most important, even though I hate getting there. I hate flying.
The process
Um,
of the trip.
in March, we're supposed to be going either to Hawaii or Phoenix. I know that's like polar opposites, but if our friends the Luhans come with us to Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
they will be our tour guides and we will end up in Hawaii. If
Yeah.
they don't end up going, then we're not going. So then we'll go to Phoenix again for spring break.
Mm-hmm.
August is a big month for us because the kids have their belt testing at their martial arts school, the big summer one, and it's back to school. In September, we're going to Vegas again for the Jiu Jitsu World Masters
Mm-hmm.
to watch all
Vanessa
our friends compete.
Vanessa is going to be
I'm
competing.
not going to compete.
Yes, you are.
I am training like I'm competing, but I'm actually not going to compete.
You should.
So I'm just tricking my brain into
Why?
being,
But if you're gonna have all that training, why wouldn't you just compete?
because it's just, I could not handle the nerves, like just standing there on the mat before you go on. I don't think I could. It's a
I think you
limiting
could.
belief for sure, but I'm comfortable with that limiting belief.
Yeah. You'll
I
probably be a
just
blue belt by then.
no. I just this is like a tangent, but I'm like so hard on myself that I would first of all, I'm not even so worried about disappointing everybody else at the school, but like being so hard on myself after, like if I lost, like if I could
Everybody loses
guarantee that
though.
I know, if I could
So
guarantee
what's the
that I
big
would,
deal?
because for me, losing would be
If you can
not
guarantee that you
good,
win,
then I would do it. But
everybody would.
I don't want to lose, so I just rather not compete.
That's how you learn. That's what makes you better.
I don't know. One of my personal goals is to work on my
Confidence.
limiting beliefs, but also like I don't know. I feel like competing versus rolling with your friends and
Hmm.
teammates at the gym is different. Like I'll go so hard I'll throw my hip out again.
That's fine. Do it. Leave it all out on the mat.
No. For
Come
what? I'm
on.
not making money
You'll get a
doing
gold
jujitsu.
necklace.
That's not worth anything but like ego points.
Exactly.
But
Feed
our
your
main
ego a
goal
little
is
bit.
freedom, right? So I think about it as for me, it's enough to support the people that are at the gym that we love and care about, right?
Hmm.
That is like me being a good human, and that makes me feel good supporting them, being like fighting with people of like who can stand in the front and take this video, or telling people to, go to the back of the line. And if I were to compete and hurt myself, then that would impact our business,
No, it wouldn't.
our goals,
No, it wouldn't.
everything else.
No, it
So
wouldn't.
it doesn't fuel my big goal. So I don't want to compete.
How would it hinder anything?
Listen, just go with it. Then in September, we have a wedding that
Just
we're
moving
in.
right along.
And then we have another wedding in November.
Hmm.
Um, and then something we're going to implement for the year is we're going to have a word of the year.
A word of the year.
Yes.
Okay. Are
What
we
is your word
creating
for
it
the
right
year?
now?
Yeah.
Well, you've had more time to think about it, so you tell me your word.
No, you go
I
first.
think I have an idea. A word that what? That we live by for the year?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
Like, for example, instead of setting a New Year's resolution,
Mm-hmm.
you gave yourself a New Year's word. Like, for example, consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if you're doing something and it's not paying off, does it go with your word of the year? Like, are you being consistent? Yes, I'm being consistent. So that's like my baseline that I wanted to accomplish, and I'm being consistent. So I'm good.
So that's your word, consistent?
No.
Oh, what's your word then?
Grace. Giving myself
Grace?
grace. Yes. Because I'm always like really hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like not competing? Yes.
If we shoot a September episode where I just came back from Vegas all banged up from Jiu-Jitsu Con, I'm not gonna be happy.
You'll be in a neck brace
No, giving
like this.
myself grace with other
Like,
things like, if I don't spend a lot of time with the kids, I feel like I'm a bad mom. If I don't spend a lot of time with you, I feel like I'm a bad wife. If I skip jujitsu, I feel like I'm not doing good at that. So like giving myself grace and like what I'm doing is enough,
mm.
you know?
Well, shoot. Now I don't know what mine is. Yours is good.
I know. This was a trickery.
Let me think. Maybe success. Don't make that face. You asked me for my word, and I gave you my word.
I'm sorry, I tried to hold back my response. Yeah.
I just want to be successful
At the things that you're doing.
at everything. Yeah, I don't like to fail.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be more successful in real
Yours
estate.
is literally the opposite of mine. Because
Why?
I want to give myself grace when I'm not like performing at 100% all the time. And you want to perform at 100% all the time.
I know. Well, that's why we're attracted to each other. We're opposites.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know. I don't like failure. I don't like to do stuff half-ass.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be successful in everything that I do.
Mm-hmm. There's so many other ones that you could pick.
Like what?
Like joy.
Okay, joy.
Happiness.
Okay, happiness. Whatever you want, my love.
We're going to ask the kids too.
Uh-huh.
That's going to go right over their head. Roman's going to pick like
Ninja Turtles or something.
like donuts or something crazy. Like every day I want to have a dessert.
Yeah.
But I mean that's really it. I feel like we talk about it so much, so like we've covered it in other episodes, but it just goes, the biggest thing is planning, right? Like start somewhere.
Right.
Do semi-annual planning, quarterly planning, work yourself up to like a weekly small family meeting, like what worked for you this week, what didn't work, how can I support you better, blah blah blah. If you plan and you're continuously talking about like what's going well and what's not going well, you're not gonna look at yourself in December of this year and be like, well, what happened? Like nothing worked for me. I strongly advise against New Year's resolutions. I think they are.
You have a whole episode on it. Watch it.
Yeah, I think you're setting yourself up for
Waste of
failure. I
time.
think, find a way. If you want to change things, find a different way of approaching it, and kind of implement a process that you think is going to get you there.
And if you're married, you have your accountability buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Just hold each other accountable, and if you don't, then find a buddy that you can make some goals with and hold each other accountable. Because I know I mentioned it in that last episode, but accountability, I think, is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't set out to fail, and if there's somebody there pushing you and holding you accountable to be successful, you're more liable to be successful.
Yeah. A lot of people do like vision boards and stuff. What do you think about that?
I don't like the the ones that you do. The ones where who did that one time? It was like a big whiteboard, and they were like cutting out magazine stuff.
I hosted a vision board party.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Why?
I didn't do it.
That's a vision board. So how can you say you like it and then say you don't like it? Do you like it or not?
I like journaling. Like if you write down your vision board or like your goals that you're trying to set, I like that. But like cutting stuff out of a magazine, like what are you gonna?
Some people need a visual, so that it's like part of, I guess, manifestation, which I don't really believe in. But they, they want a white Beamer or they want to go on vacation to Hawaii, so they cut it out and they look at it every day. And it's kind of a way of holding yourself accountable. If you put a picture of yourself...
But where are you going to hang this thing up? In your bedroom?
I don't know.
Over your bed?
Your kitchen?
Yeah, right. So we can make a vision board out of magazines and hang it in our kitchen?
That doesn't go with my aesthetic.
Exactly.
But for other people, it works.
I guess.
Yeah. But I think if you do a vision board...
When did you do that?
Huh?
When did you do that?
2022.
What was that for, though?
For the brokerage, for work.
Oh.
I did it for all of our agents.
Oh, that's right.
And then, like, within the next 3 months after that, like 3 agents left the brokerage. I ran them all off.
Their vision board worked.
The vision
They're like,
board was
Hawaii,
leaving
I'm
the
leaving now.
brokerage. I'm just not, this is another tangent, but I'm just not like a coddler
Oh
and a
no?
motivator. No. With work,
No, yeah.
like,
Work,
this
you're a
is what
different
you need to
beast.
do. And I am not your, like, if you call me and you need to pick me up, I will give it to you. But I'm not going to call you every day
Yeah.
or every week and give you the boost that you need. Like, that is your mindset. You need to work on that
Mm-hmm.
yourself. I will give you the tools, the resources, everything that you need to become successful. But
Yeah.
after that, it's on you. Like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And some of these people, I was dunking their head in the water and they wouldn't even open their mouth to
That's probably why
drink.
they left.
And that's fine. Because then that helped my bigger goal because it freed up more time for me to work on things that will
Right.
benefit me, even though, I mean, that sounds selfish, but I just don't like wasting time. So if I'm
Yeah.
going to be investing in you and you're not listening, then I'm going to stop investing in you.
Just think there's a certain type of person that can be self-employed.
Hmm.
Like if you're a procrastinator, if you're just lazy, if you're that person that you're like, it's okay if I don't get work today, then being self-employed probably isn't for you.
Yeah.
Like you have to be self-motivated, you have to have those goals, have the drive to be successful, or else it's just not going to work.
Even I feel like sometimes people that are self motivated fail because they rely on the motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And motivation is like a fleeting concept. Like you might go to some conference and be super motivated, but then that slowly trickles down to like you becoming less motivated. And then when you don't have the motivation, your business fails. So for me, I think it's more like if you can't be consistent and can't have a process and you can't plan, you're likely not going to achieve your goals as fast or at all
Yeah.
as compared to if you did. So I think there's a misconception around that people have the motivation. You have all the motivation of like, if there was like a meter for motivation in the country and you measured it like around New Year's,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's super high.
Yeah.
But then why do so many people fail?
Right.
Or why is the gym empty by February? Because people are not consistent. There's not a process, there's not a plan, there's no accountability to get to those goals and stay consistent and keep going. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem. Um, Another thing, really quick before we wrap it up, is that we have categories. So, like, we have our personal categories. Like, what do we want to work on for us? Like, not for anyone else, but like, what makes me happy and what do I want to work on? Then we have like a family slash social category. So, like, family and friends, what do we want to accomplish? And that's the one where we usually bring in the kids and like, we ask them, which we've discussed in previous episodes, like, what is your goal? Like, and we don't dumb it down because they're not dumb, but like we make it simple for them.
Simple,
Like,
yeah.
is there a new hobby that you want to take up? Do you want to read more? Like, how can we support you in what you want to do? And it's just like kind of laying that groundwork for them so that when they get older, they have more awareness in their life as a young adult. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's sometimes missing for us. We don't have like a blueprint or we don't think about those things. I know I didn't start thinking about what our big goal was until like almost my 30s, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started thinking about that more good things started happening
Right.
and I was able to achieve things, well, us together faster and more efficiently because there was a plan and a goal.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have financial goals, business goals, and we just kind of break it up
Mm-hmm.
and um, write it down on a nice little sheet and categories.
Yeah.
So we have an overview and then we just kind of go from there and we keep that in mind monthly and quarterly. Our weekly meetings are more just like how are we surviving the
Yeah.
week?
Catching up.
How are we doing our day-to-day stuff? What do the kids have going on? What events do we have coming up? And then our monthly and quarterly goals are more like big picture goals, like
Mm-hmm.
how can we, this month work towards getting this accomplished and all that. So
Yeah.
that's how we do things. Not saying that that's the right thing to do for everyone, but it works for us. We're
Mm-hmm.
constantly changing the process. So if something doesn't work, we stay flexible and open minded to changing it And I think that's also important part is just being, open to, just because this year it worked, it might not work,
Right. And we're
in
always
two
looking
years.
for different ways to plan and grow our success. So we're always watching other people that influence us
Mm-hmm.
to be better and to grow as people, as business people, in every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
So, yep. So let us know what your plans are for this year, what you guys are doing to grow and be better than you were last year. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content. We'll see you on the next one.